All right, let's talk about it. The one conflict that's absolutely everywhere right now, the one that has so many people worried about where things are heading. Of course, I'm talking about the war between Israel and Hamas. You see it at the top of every news broadcast, every website, but here's the thing. This is so much more than just a regional fight. Experts are watching this really closely, and they see it as a potential flashpoint, one where the shockwaves could be felt thousands of miles away. So, let's explore why. Okay, so to really get a handle on the dynamics here, you first have to know who's involved, right? Let's break down the two main sides in this incredibly intense and honestly very complex conflict. And right away, you can see a huge contrast. On one side, you have Israel, with one of the most technologically advanced militaries in the world. On the other side, you've got Gaza, an incredibly crowded territory where the militant group Hamas operates. This massive difference, this asymmetry, is absolutely key to understanding the nature of this conflict. So, how did we even get here? Well, the first thing to know is this didn't just start out of the blue. Tensions over land, identity, and political control have been building for decades. But the catalyst, the event that really lit the fuse for this current war, was that shocking, large-scale attack by Hamas back in October 2023. And Israel's ongoing military response has escalated everything into the intense phase we're all seeing today. But beyond all the military strategy and the politics, there's a part of this that is just devastating. And that's the human story. The real cost of this war is being paid by civilians, and it is a staggering price. I mean, just try to imagine it for a second. One day, you're living your life, going to work, seeing friends, and the very next day, your entire world is turned upside down. Families are forced to flee, just looking for safety, for food, for water. This is the daily reality for countless people who are just caught in the crossfire. And when you look at the numbers, the picture they paint is incredibly grim. See, in a place as packed with people as Gaza, military strikes inevitably hit civilian areas. We're talking about thousands of lives lost and hundreds of thousands of people forced from their homes. This is creating a massive refugee crisis that's just overwhelming the whole region. And when people can't get access to the absolute basics, food, water, medicine on this kind of scale, the situation transforms. It's no longer just a military conflict. It becomes what you see right here, a full-blown humanitarian crisis. Now, we need to zoom out a bit, because the danger of this conflict isn't just contained to that one area. So why are world leaders so concerned about it getting bigger? It's a chilling question, isn't it? But it's one that experts are seriously debating. For now, the conflict is regional. But the risk of it spiraling out of control into a much wider war, well, that's the nightmare scenario that keeps a lot of people up at night. And why is that risk so high? Well, think of the Middle East like a giant geopolitical chessboard. All the major world powers have a stake in the outcome. As countries start to take sides, lining up with either Israel or the Palestinian cause, the whole situation becomes a powder keg. All it could take is one major power deciding to commit troops, and this regional fire could explode into a global inferno. Adding to all this complexity is the fact that war itself has changed. The battlegrounds today extend way beyond tanks and missiles. Today's conflicts are multi-layered. An attack can happen silently through a keyboard, crippling a power grid. A nation's whole economy can be targeted with sanctions. And maybe most powerful of all, there's the war for public opinion, which is fought online, shaping how the entire world sees the conflict. And you've seen this every single day on your social media feeds. It's a constant battle of viral clips and competing stories, all fighting for your attention and your support. It creates this kind of digital fog of war, where trying to tell the difference between what's true and what's propaganda becomes a real challenge for all of us. This really just drives home how connected our world is now. A conflict happening thousands of miles away can affect the price you pay for gas, mess up supply chains for stuff you buy every day, and seriously strain relationships between countries all over the globe. No country's an island anymore. All of this brings us to a final, really sobering thought. It's a lesson that history has tried to teach us over and over again, and it brings up a question that really defines this moment in time. This quote just cuts right to the fundamental truth of it all. It doesn't matter who claims victory on a map. The real loss is always a human one. That shared sense of loss is why the global call for peace is growing louder and louder every day. Ultimately, how conflicts like this one are resolved is going to shape our collective future. And it leaves all of us with a critical question to think about. Are we watching the world drift towards a larger war, or is there still time to find a different path?